Hello everyone, here we are again to present another scenario that unfolds in the desert theater of operations. This is the S-37 scenario called Khamsin found in the Hollow Legion's box. In this scenario we find ourselves in Libya, 13th June 1942, 40 kilometers southwest of Tobruk. The Gazala battles had been raging for days, with Panzer Army Africa driving for the great prize of Tobruk. Several British strongpoints still lay in his path, of which was the Knightsbridge box held by the 201st Guards Motor Brigade Group. On 13th June 15th Panzer Division from the east and 21st Panzer Division from the west enveloped this position. After a day of heavy fighting, the final clash of armor occurred when units of 2nd and 4th Armoured Brigades, sent to reinforce a guard's position on Wriggle Ridge, met 21st Panzer Division during the last stages of one of the desert's violent sandstorms, Khamsin. Aftermath. A most confused action occurred amidst the swirling sand and dust, with heavy losses on both sides. By nightfall, 21st Panzer Division overran Wriggle Ridge and secured the western portion of the 201st Guards Brigade Group successfully withdrew from it along a perilously narrow corridor. The loss of the Knightsbridge box forced the British to abandon the Gazala line, and Tobruk would finally fall to Rommel 8 days later. The map. Maps 27 and 28 will be used with terrain overlays called hillocks, Rule F6. A hillock, Rule 6.1, is a terrain feature of any overlay whose ID letter is an H and consists of hexes shaded brown to reddish brown. A hillock is a somewhat different type of half-level obstacle. Units on a non-summit hillock hex are at level half, assuming the overlay is on level 0 terrain. A hillock hex is a type of inherent terrain, V.6, and does not contain a hill crest line. Jim will make a video where he intends to address aspects of the different forms of terrain that occur in desert scenarios. Stay tuned. Order of battle. British people. Elements of the 2nd Battalion, Scots Guards. 4 Squads 458 Elite. 6 Squads 457 First Class. Leaders 80, 8-1, 9-1. A heavy machine gun. 3 light machine guns. 2 anti-tank rifles. 2 51mm mortars. 1 40mm long anti-tank gun. An armoured Leader 9-1. 2 Grant tanks. 2 Crusader tanks. 1 Stuart tank. In addition, the British will receive 11 Shamgar counters. Sangars, Rule F8, are treated like foxholes and can be occupied by a squad or a cannon and its crew, or half squad. A unit under a Sangar marker receives a +3 modifier when attacked by off-board artillery and +1 versus other attacks, EXC, close combat, flamethrower. The crews of a cannon placed under Sangar's marker are entitled to the terrain modifier effect of +2 instead of Sangar's +1. The British have an ELR of 4 and a sniper activation number of 2. Germans. Elements of the 21st Panzer Division. 6 Elite 468 Squads. Leaders 9-1, 9-2. 3 light machine guns. 1 anti-tank rifle. Armoured Leaders 8-1, 9-1 and 9-2. 1 Panzer 4F1. 6 Panzers 3H. 2 Panzers 2F. 1 Marder. 6 SPW 251 by 1 half tracks. The Germans have an ELR of 4 and, like the British, they also have a SAN of 2. Victory conditions. The Germans win at the end of the game if they conquer all 3 hillock peaks, and the British do not collect 6 desert victory points or more than the Germans. Positioning. Positioning occurs simultaneously. The British will deploy on or east of Hex Roll T, with all their personnel in Sangar, who cannot be deployed adjacent to another Sangar. Units positioned in Hex with bushes can use hidden initial position, HIP. Elements of Squads A and C will enter turn 1 from the northern boundary at or east of Hex 28W1. The Germans who will move first will be positioned in or west of Hex Roll H with their personnel as passengers. Each vehicle must be positioned in motion and adjacent to one or more vehicles so that all hexes occupied by vehicles are part of a contiguous series of hexes. Special Scenario Rules. Ambient conditions are dry, initially with heavy wind from the southeast. Heavy dust F11.73 is in effect. The positioning will take place simultaneously. An armored leader will not provide any of your benefits if they are in murder. During your movement phase, all German vehicles must move as far east as possible using a platoon movement, the 14.3, like a multi-hex stack, and will remain in motion. At the beginning of each impulse in which any German unit has line of sight over any British unit, all German units continue their movement using the usual procedures, as if it were a normal movement phase, minus the movement points already used. Germans will have 8.5 turns to conquer the 3 peaks in the hillock areas. The proposal for this scenario will be to reenact the game that was developed between Mark Nixon and Bill Sisler, published in the 1990 annual ASL magazine. The neutral commentator is Bill's brother, Dave Sisler. With the Khamsin Gym scenario, he will release several videos related to the relevant rules, of which the first has already been made, in which the rule related to dust is addressed. This concludes this introduction, and we will prepare the initial stages of the clash in this scenario. See you soon.